Welcome to Friday Morning Dharma on January 10th. Why don't we go ahead and settle in for some meditation? As you settle in for meditation this morning, to inspire your practice, please feel free to bring to mind the image of a mountain. The mountain is balanced, grounded, stable, still, silent, with ancient awareness, with ancient wisdom awareness. We can begin by bringing our awareness to the exhalation of our breath and allow your exhalation to be just a bit longer and a bit more pronounced than your inhalation. Please feel free to experiment with pausing briefly at the bottom of each exhalation. We can gently we can gently transition into meditation on the inner body. Please become aware of sensations that may start in your hands and your feet in the form of a tingling, perhaps a lightness, perhaps a heaviness, perhaps a pulsation. No analysis is necessary. No interpretation is necessary. There's nothing to figure out. Just be the silent observer of these sensations and allow a more tranquil, awakened state of awareness to emerge. moment by moment by moment, the mountain simply observes silently. Snow may fall on the mountain, accumulate, and then disappear. A nearby river may rise and then recede. A small animal may run across a fallen log and then jump into hiding. The mountain simply observes silently. No praise, no blame, no hope, no fear, no expectation. Be a mountain as you silently observe sensations within your own body, mountain. Now, very gently, please redirect your awareness. Become aware again of this collection of parts we've agreed to label physical body, and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Taking deeper and deeper breaths, become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of physical body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside the room that you're occupying. Deeper and deeper breaths, and become aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you're occupying. And we dedicate all of the merit from this morning's meditation to world peace. May all beings without exception soon come to enjoy an abundance of pure air and water, delicious, nutritious food, safe, warm, dry, reliable, affordable shelter, and comfortable, functional, attractive clothing. And with everyone's basic needs met, may we all enter and progress on wisdom paths that lead to complete and permanent liberation from all forms of suffering. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. I note with interest that Linda, I think that's got to be Linda Shu, is zooming in. Last I heard, Linda was in the Florida Keys. I think I speak for everyone, Linda, when I say we're not terribly interested in hearing the weather report from the Florida Keys right now. With the low temperature being with the low temperature being 10 degrees last night or in that vicinity. No, I'm teasing, of course. We rejoice in your good fortune of having your toes in the sand as you participate in our morning Dharma class. So this is the second Friday of the month. So we're going to be doing questions, question and answers, and I have some excellent questions. The first one coming from Grace Williams. Grace writes, in the book, Yongey Mingyur writes about his experience of his experience riding on a bus when he becomes overwhelmed, and experiences what it sounds like is kind of a phobia of riding on a bus, and he almost becomes incapacitated. And Grace asks, Yongey Mingyur speaks of moving into meditation by doing a body scan. How is this similar or different from the somatic approach that we use, meditation on the inner body? From the somatic approach we use of observing sensations in the body? An excellent question. And the short answer is I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's the same meditation. I'm going to guess that it is. But I'm going to guess that because Yongey Mingyur shares this story in the first few pages of the book, I'm thinking it might be like sort of like a preliminary or one of the initial stages of the meditation practice. My camera. I'm thinking it's one of the initial stages in the somatic meditation, whereby when when folks are becoming introduced to this meditation, um, we are taught to draw our awareness inside the body and become aware of sensations of our physical body, of our physicality. And in this case, Yang Mingyur draws his awareness in toward the stomach, toward his tummy, where he's experiencing nausea. Um, and you guys use Zoomers. My camera keeps going out, so I'm sorry. It's just going to have to stay with the screensaver image. Um, but I'm thinking that is, I know that that's one of the introductory um, phases of the inner body meditation, of somatic meditation, is to bring your awareness and observe sensations of the physical body, right? Drawing your awareness, like directing your awareness to a physical part of your body. In this case, of his stomach, where he was experiencing the pain, the discomfort. As we become more familiar with this meditation, um, we start to become more aware of, and this isn't really taught, it just comes experientially. We start to experience um, aspects of the body that go beyond the physicality, that go beyond the physical organ. And those of us that have been doing this meditation for a while now might have had an experience of that. We initially bring our awareness to sensations that sometimes start in the hands and the feet. And the language goes, the guidance goes in the form of a tingling, perhaps a lightness, perhaps a heaviness, perhaps a pulsation. And we might observe those sensations in or around the bones and tendons and flesh and skin and so forth. But after a while, the physicality disappears. I think for some of us, that might be your experience. The physicality of our hands and our feet and our legs and the region of our chest disappear. And at some point, we're meditating on the subtle part of our body, a subtleness that goes beyond physicality, right? It goes beyond the physicality of the body. It's more subtle, it's more experiential, and quite frankly, more meaningful. It's more meaningful because it helps us get away from grasping at body, at my body, at physical body. And it starts to become kind of more vague, more subtle. And as it becomes more vague, more subtle, more unfindable, kind of the physical body disappears. The basis of our attachment or aversion toward this entity we've come to know as physical body disappears. The basis, the physical body disappears. So the basis for our attachment and aversion toward our body also disappears. It's subtle stuff, and that's something that happens further on down the path as we develop more experience. Maybe you're experiencing it now, but the point of departure is to bring awareness to the physicality, to the blood and the bones and the flesh and so forth. And since Yangye Mingyur is addressing this early in the book, I'm thinking that he's introducing the early. My sense is that he's addressing the early introductory practice of meditation on the body and the inner body. So that's kind of my interpretation. Another one Another aspect of this is that in that section of the book, he brings his awareness toward his stomach, sensations in and around the stomach. As we get more experience with this meditation, we don't really direct our awareness toward particular sensations. Sensations within the body emerge of their own accord, and then our awareness is drawn to that. It's less directed by the mind. Do you see this point? This point that I'm making? We start out directing, or Yongey Mingyur in this case, directs his awareness to the region of the stomach and almost like creates sensations or observes sensations that seem to already be there. As we deepen our practice of somatic meditation, the body, the subtle body, will reveal to us what sensations are to be observed, whether they're in the hands or the feet, the stomach, the region of the chest, one universal sensation that goes from the crown of our head to the tips of our fingers and the soles of our feet. Yeah, so that, again, further down the meditation path as we develop experience and familiarity with the practice. But again, my take is first few pages of the book, Yongey Mingyur talks about bringing his awareness to a physical part of the body, getting relief, an introductory stage of the practice seems to kind of line up for me. First few pages, introduction. Yeah, that's kind of my take on it. So, does anybody have any questions or anything you'd like to offer about Grace's question or questions about my interpretation of what an answer might be? Not the answer, but maybe an answer. Anybody? Yes, John.
In Vipassana, so I went on this Vipassana retreat, and when you start, and the body scan is really how they bring you in. You start with just breathing, the sensation of breathing, but there's a real, the guy Goenki who started Vipassana, and he has a whole body scan that you go through.
Mm-hmm.
So at the top of the head, you go through your whole body, and you become aware of your sensations, but you don't do anything about it. You just observe.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just keep on doing that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the gateway. I think that's kind of what you're saying. It's like that's how you get deeper into the meditation, but you become aware of your physicality.
Mm-hmm. John offered. Could you Zoomers hear that? What John offered? Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Noteworthy to that is that John was offering a Vipassana perspective, totally valid. Maybe a different route of arriving at the same place. Vipassana, a Buddhist form of practice and meditation. What Yongey Mingyur is a Tibetan monk schooled in the Kagyu tradition. So I think there may be slightly different approaches to the practice. In this case, it sounds like very slight difference, but arriving at the same place. So yeah, good question and excellent fuel for contemplation. I've got like 1 minute, so I'm going to answer one of Anne's questions. She has she submitted 2 questions. One is an age-old question that comes up over and over. And I think I'll read that without answering it in the minute we have left. But one of the simplest short questions, Anne has read ahead in the book. Reading ahead is allowed, by the way. She's read ahead to the chapter on Milarepa. Milarepa is kind of regarded as the saint of Tibet, the yogi saint of Tibet from the 11th century. Anne's question is, how do you pronounce the name Milarepa? And I'm doing it now. All of the syllables, all of the vowels are soft as opposed to long. It's not Milarepa, it's Milarepa. So there's that. And then here's Anne's second question. Um, she writes, on page 56 of In Love with the World, on the second paragraph and the previous page, how can being in retreat almost half of your life be a genuine way to help others? I don't see how staying in retreat can be an example to others and is such a lofty goal in this tradition. So folks who are practitioners who are committed to being of benefit to the world, benefiting all sentient beings, yet stay in solitary retreat. How is that benefiting all sentient beings? Great age-old question, which we'll take up on the fourth Friday of the month, the other day that we're out of time. I'd be happy to talk about it, but we're out of time. We'll take that up on the fourth Friday of the month. And hopefully by then I'll have my camera situation figured out. Thanks, you guys, for being here. Have a great day and a great weekend. Okay.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jeff. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Jeff.
Bye, everyone.